Hi, how are you going? I'm Pierce Kennedy, and this is
Bob Brennan.
I'm here today to speak to Bob. Bob is very qualified and experienced in the area of EFT. And I'm here today to find out more actually about EFT and how it can benefit people. So Bob, so what is EFT all about?
EFT, well, that stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques. EFT is in the area of energy psychology or energy therapy, and it's based on the ancient system of acupuncture. But with EFT, we don't use needles, which is the first bonus, because needles can basically freak people out. What we do is we use our fingers to tap various acupuncture points whilst we're addressing whatever our particular issue is. Now, it could be a phobia or something like that. So we basically two strands to it. We address the issue out loud while we're stimulating various acupuncture points. So generally there's about 8 points on the upper body, and I think there's, off the top of my head, there's 6 points on the hand. So it's a very, very powerful system. I get such amazing results with it. It's just that it blows me away regularly.
Fantastic. Okay, so tell me what type of clients will come to you and actually why the person will be coming to you.
As I mentioned just now in the sort of the preamble, I get a lot of people come to me with phobia problems, and it just knocks on the head so quickly. It's absolutely scary. But a lot of deeper issues as well. Earlier this year I've done a lot of work working with clients with self-esteem issues, confidence issues, a lot of stuff which basically they've dragged around with them all their life from childhood issues. And emotional freedom techniques kind of sums it up. You're freeing yourself from this negative emotional baggage so that you can then move on to a much better, much happier life.
And how it benefits long term, like how many sessions would you need to work with, we say, someone if you like yourself to achieve good results?
Phobia, generally, I'm starting to get worried if I can't sort it in 2 sessions.
Okay.
I've actually cleared a flight phobia in 40 minutes before now.
Absolutely fantastic, fantastic.
Because EFT is all about finding the particular issue that triggered the problem.
Okay.
And once you find that issue, and we were lucky enough to find that issue very quickly, it just dissipates, it just falls apart.
And what does EFT stand for?
It stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques.
And what would be the origin, like where did the EFT come out of, like who had invented it or who had made EFT?
EFT came out of, well, it was developed from another system called TFT, which is Thought Field Therapy, which was developed by a guy called Dr. Roger Callahan. And he was a psychotherapist who had also studied acupuncture, and he was having all sorts of trouble with a woman who had this 20-year-long fear of water. He'd been working with her for absolutely ages. Through his knowledge that he was starting to gain through acupuncture, he knew there was one point that he could tap on which was good for settling the stomach, because her fear was in the stomach. So basically, out of sheer desperation, he said, okay, I want you to tap on this particular point of the body. I believe it was under the eye, but I can't remember off the top of my head. So she tapped on it, and he could see a physical change in her. And this is in the west coast of the States, so being a therapist out there, he had a swimming pool out in the back garden. So, as they do, you know. So he said, right, I'm going to take you out to the pool. And she sort of, okay, she said. And he sort of said, well, how big's the fear now? Which, one of the things we do in EFT is we assess what the particular issue stress level is, between 0 and 10. 0, there's no problem, 10, you climb up the walls. Mm. So he assessed it, and she was at something like a 7 or 8. So they did a little bit more tapping on this particular point. Within 20 minutes, to cut a long story short, she was splashing water on her face out of the pool. And he says, I'm onto something here. So he started developing different points you tap on for various issues. Along comes Gary Craig, who trained with Roger Callahan with TFT. Gary Craig is the developer of EFT. And what Gary realised, and like myself, he's an engineer by training, that you're only ever tapping like half a dozen or 8 points. So Gary said, well, why don't we just tap on all the points, just see how it goes, rather than specific points for specific problems. So Gary sort of started developing tapping on all the points, no matter what the presenting problem was, and he got great results as well. So he thought, well, why have all this? You've got to remember this point for that problem, that point for this problem. Why not just tap on all of them? So Gary just sort of took what Roger Callahan gave us and just took it off into a direction where you just tap on everything.
Fantastic. And how can people find out more about you? Like, have you a website, or is
Yes.
there any way of the person getting in contact with you?
Yes, I've got a website, and my website is www.new-life-coaching.com. So that's www.new, which is nu-life-coaching.com. So you can find me there.
Excellent. And have you a Facebook page by any chance?
I have a Facebook page.
Especially Facebook being the way of the future and everyone being on
It's not
Facebook.
the way of the future, it's the way of now. Yeah, I've also got a Facebook page, which again is New Life Coaching. So you'll find me on Facebook on New Life Coaching.
Fantastic. So if anyone is looking to, if you find out more actually about Bob, or about the EFT, please don't hesitate to kind of check him out on his website or his Facebook page. And Bob, I would like to thank you for having the opportunity to speak to you actually about EFT, and I'll definitely start tapping. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.